Hello, my name's Claire Tyler from Claire Tyler Couture. Today I'd like to talk to you about taking measurements. In dressmaking, it's really important to have a set of measurements that you can refer to whenever you're starting a new project. I have a sheet that I use for taking measurements for clients and for students, and you can download a copy of this sheet from my website. I'm going to run through the measurements as on the sheet as they are here. I'm going to ask my assistant Amy to come in so I can show you where you need to measure. Thank you, Amy. Before you start taking any measurements, it's important to have a couple of reference points. One of them would be putting a necklace around your neck here, and the second one would be to put a piece of elastic around the waist. Just tie it around your waist, not too tight, and then just move from side to side so it just sits into your natural waistline. And that's often a little bit higher than you think it is, but that's your natural waistline. So I'm going to measure, you can measure in inches or centimetres, and I'm going to use a tape measure that's got both, and this one's also got a metal end here, and that's really good when you're measuring clients because it just keeps a bit of distance. The first measurement we're going to take is around the high bust. So this is around underneath the arms, above the bust here. So straight round, above the bust. That's your high bust measurement. And the second one we're going to take is your full bust, which is here around the widest part. And I'd like to also write down the difference between those two measurements. If you have more than a 2 inch or 5 centimetre difference between those two measurements, you're probably going to have to do a full bust adjustment. So the next measurement is from the shoulder seam at the side here down to the apex at the front. So from here down to here. And also from apex to apex across the front. And then the next one is also from the apex, but down to the waistline at the centre front. So from the apex to the centre front here. So there's the top body ones at the front. The next one would be around the waist, so on top of the elastic, around the waist here, making sure it's on the elastic. So that would be your waist measurement here. And then the next one would be high hip. That's about 3 inches or 7 centimetres below the waist. So that would be your high hip measurement. And the next one would be the full hip. So around the widest part here, making sure it goes straight round. Around the widest part, that's probably about 9 inches below the waist on average. And that would be your full hip measurement. So that's all the measurements for the front. We're going to do some at the back now. If you have to turn around for me, Amy, thank you. The first measurement will be across the shoulders, from shoulder seam to shoulder seam, across the back here. And then the next one will be from the necklace at the side here, along the shoulder to the shoulder seam. So from your necklace to the shoulder seam. And the last one on the back, from the necklace at the back, from the centre back here, down to the elastic at the waist. So you can see all these reference points we put at the start are really helpful. That's your centre back measurement. I'd like to turn around for me, Amy. I'm going to do the arm measurements next. First one will be from the shoulder seam at the elbow. If you'd like to bend your arm for me, lovely. So from the shoulder seam to the bottom of the elbow, and then from the elbow to the wrist. So you can have those two separate measurements, and you can also add them together just to have your full arm length as well. Next we're going to measure around the upper arm, here, and also around the wrist as well. So those are all of your upper body measurements. We're now going to do the lower body, which will be useful when you're making trousers. So the first one will be around the upper thigh. So around the widest part of your thigh, here. And then I'm going to do from the waist to the kneecap. So if you'd like to just bend your knee for me very slightly, Amy, thank you. Just so I can see where your knee is. Oh, there we go. And then stand up straight again. That's it. So I can just see where your kneecap is and measure from the waist down to there. The next one would be the outside leg. So from the waist elastic down to the floor at the side, all the way down there. And then the inside leg measurement as well. So from the crotch seam at the inside leg down to the floor. Okay, the next two are the crotch seam measurements. So it's good to have the front crotch seam measured and the back crotch seam measured separately. So I'm going to get Amy to take the tape measure and hold it at the crotch seam on her trousers, stand up straight and then measure up to the waist at the front. And then I'm going to turn around, pass the elastic, pass the tape measure, through. Again, the end of the tape measure on the crotch seam, stand up straight, and then measure up to the back. So we're nearly there. The last one I'm going to do is I'm going to get Amy to grab a chair and bring that in. And this is the measurement for the crotch depth. And you need to sit down to do this one. And you measure from the elastic at the waist here down to the seat of the chair. And that's your crotch depth. And that's it. Thank you very much, Amy. So that's all the measurements you'll need. There's 25, they're all really important, so do make a note of them and then keep them as a reference for whenever you're starting a new project. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been useful for you today. If you've enjoyed it, please do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find details about all my workshops on my website. And you can follow me on social media as well. All the details are just down below. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you soon.